these 12 things affect our lives and what do they mean to the Black community. So, you ready?
Yeah, I'm super hyped.
And we are live on. People share the link if you can. Invite some people to join in. We are streaming live from Facebook and from YouTube.
Yes, indeed. We are live on the Queen Vi Reality Talk Facebook page and the Reality Talk Network group and the Queen Vi's Reality Talk YouTube. So we're broadcasting all three spots. Um, I apologize to anyone if you. I don't know if I'm coming across with the echo. I got it in my headset, but I'm hoping that
I don't think they hear. I don't hear it. You just hear it.
yeah, I hear that means it's on my end. So I'm just trying to figure out what's the source of this. Um, let's take a real quick music break and let me figure this out. And we're gonna get right back into it. Okay?
All right.
Excuse the music. All right, Queen, we're back.
Okay. Got that squared away? You sound better?
I still hear it on my end, but we'll just tough through it.
Okay. So, as I was saying, we are talking about the 12. For those who are just tuning in, we are talking about the 12 Jewels of Life. Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Oh, okay. And that is knowledge, wisdom, understanding, freedom, justice, equality, food, clothing, shelter, love, peace, and last but not least, happiness. And we're going to talk about how it affects us in the Black community. And I am ready when you are.
Well, we'll start with the first one, which is knowledge, which is the foundation of all things. You always start with knowledge. So, from your perspective, how important? Well, you know me, I always start with ladies first. But how important is knowledge to us as a people, our community, our progress, our success?
In order to do what you have to do, you have to have the knowledge. You have to know the knowledge of self. You have to know who you are, what you stand for. You have to know that you have a purpose and what's the purpose of your purpose. You have to um, have knowledge to be able to teach others. Um, So with everything, there is a process. So you have to know the steps to do it in order to elevate to the next step.
Facts. I completely agree. Um, like I said, knowledge is the foundation of all things. Um, us as black men, we should see ourselves in the family structure as being the knowledge. We're the beginners, we're the starting point. First man to walk the earth was a black man. And it is our task, our duty, our job to start the process of anything positive, anything that's going to be substantive for ourselves, our family, and our community, most importantly. If there's a village, there should be, a strong chieftain. There's always a head. There's a head of the household. But most importantly, you're supposed to be the head of your own self. A lot of our young brothers is running around with no sense of self. They're just wandering aimlessly.
Yes.
You know, they don't know their ass from their elbow, and it's our jobs as the elders to educate them, wake them up a little bit, teach them. Us as old heads anyway.
I agree. But we do we do have to understand that we need the ones who have been taught and that applies those things to teach our young people. Because yes, because some people they don't know they I forgot we trying to lay off on the cursing, right? We know. So some people don't know whether they coming or going. They try to tell somebody else what to do. Mm-mm.
Yeah, in order for you to be able to teach what you learned, you got to make sure you got it right.
Right.
You can't go teaching something that you are aren't proficient or you're not an expert or you're not knowledgeable about.
Yes.
Which leads to the next thing:
Hmm.
wisdom.
Wisdom.
You
Okay.
know,
And let me backtrack for 1 second. And when we talk about knowledge, you have to have the ability to observe, to listen, and to be teachable. You know.
hmm
Um. And so and now, when we talk about wisdom, for one, it's about perspective and the ability to make sound judgments about whatever the subject or topic or whatever you're doing. You also should know that wisdom comes with experience, and the knowledge that you've learned, and when to apply the knowledge, when to educate, when to teach, when to step in, how to do things, because everybody don't learn, in the same way. So you have to have the wisdom to be able to know who your student is or who you're talking to. That means how to talk, how to show, just how to apply the knowledge that you have. And knowledge can exist without wisdom, but wisdom cannot exist without knowledge.
well, that's okay. Let's explore that a little bit. You're saying that wisdom can exist without knowledge, but knowledge can't exist without wisdom. Or
No,
did I get that
knowledge
backwards?
knowledge can exist without wisdom, but wisdom can't exist without knowledge.
Exactly.
Did
Exactly.
I say that backwards?
No, you're exactly right.
Okay.
Because knowledge is to know, to learn, to listen, to observe, and respect. And your wisdom is your wise words being spoken. And how could you're right, because you can't be speaking wise words if you didn't go obtain the knowledge about what you're speaking about. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's when you look at the word wisdom, you're saying wise don't. How'd you don't get wise? You had to go get knowledge, right? You can't
Right.
just go talking out your ass and nothing you're saying makes any sense. You had to go do the knowledge. You had to go to school. You had to go pick up a book. You had to go read. You had to go educate yourself. So then that way, when you speak, the words you are articulating are a representation of the knowledge that you obtain.
Right.
Just like what I said, the black man is the knowledge. The black woman is the wisdom.
Right. So we need that right there. We needed some finger snappings.
Yeah, I mean that's who we are supposed to be. That's what we're supposed to be. And at some point, their whole structure got lost. So we as we as people, we gotta start paying attention to this stuff. Um, Go learn, go educate yourself. So instead of pop and fly and saying just the most ridiculous things that come to mind, start speaking from a place of education. And I'm not talking about mm, you know a college level education. I'm talking about just having the simple facts. Facts are important because you see Donald Trump talks a lot. He talks his ass off, but majority of everything he say is a lie. That's why it's important to get the knowledge. That way you're speaking through the wisdom. Wisdom is the river that flows, you know? Like Method Man said with All I Need with him and Mary J. Blige. He said, I'll be your Noah, you be my Wiz. Remember, Noah was wise. So it's understanding your functionality and your household, your community, and then you relate that to how you become a better person, how you get that knowledge of self. Because a lot of y'all don't got it. That's the purpose of the show. Just imagine if you took knowledge that serious, if you started reading more, and you as the more you read, the better your vocabulary. The better your vocabulary, the more opportunities you'll have, and the more clearer um you'll become when you're talking to people.
Yeah. Some people don't even know who they are. They just fall around. You know,
Yep.
they just be doing stuff. Don't even know why they doing it.
Exactly. And that is sad, you know. So sometimes we get lost, and when we get lost, we're supposed to do what we can to find ourselves or help or come across someone that can help us find ourselves. And usually the way to do that is through self exploration, purging ridiculousness from your life, and just getting focused and having a sense of conviction. You know, if you wanted to be a hairstylist or you wanted to do anything in life, you had to go get that knowledge. You had to go learn your skill, learn your craft. I am still learning this platform we're on right now. We're broadcasting in three spots at once. I I didn't just pull that out of my ass and just start. I am still learning every day about different things because I really want to be good at this. That's how important this is to me. So You ready for the next one?
I am.
All right. The next one is understanding.
That's a simple one. Comprehension. Knowing the who, what, when, why, how. Um, just don't be doing things because you're told to do it, but you have to understand why it's important to do it. Why is it important to move a certain way, or why is it important to do certain things um, in life? Why you need to know these things, um, how to obtain the knowledge and also teach others. You know, who to teach it to.
Hmm. Yep. Understanding is the end results of it, it, it is the last stage of what we call a cipher. Just think of a 360-degree circle, right? And you cut it up into three parts: knowledge, wisdom, understanding. That's 120 degrees each slice of that pie. And the final part is understanding. We started this show with something that we feel as though we know. We're articulating it. Your podcast is the wisdom. You're listening to this. And hopefully by the end of this show, or where you walk away from this show, you will feel like, okay, yeah, I get what they're saying. That's understanding. It is a picture drawn up in your mind, right? You The whole idea of each one teach one, that old saying that goes back to the 60s, each one teach one is the perfect representation. How can I teach you? Oh, I went and learned it through knowledge. I'm speaking it to you through my wisdom, and I'm painting a picture in your mind so you can understand it through understanding. Right? If knowledge is the black man, wisdom is the black woman, what do you think understanding is?
Our children, what?
Yep.
I felt like I was in school for a second.
Yep. That's exactly what it is.
Honor roll student.
When those two people come together and they make a baby, it's the completion of the family, it's the completion of the cipher. Those three things, it sounds stupid and trivial to some, but when you are applying it throughout life and you are making it a part of who you are and how you perceive things, how you speak to people, how you go about the various things that you're doing in your life, it all becomes relative to you. What do you think manifestation is for some of you who are the part of the manifest community? It's through knowledge, wisdom, understanding. It's those things are super important because you can't do anything without these things. You can't get a job. You can't do any of this fly stuff. Any of the shit that you like to do, you need those three things. That's from going out on a date. That's from cooking dinner. That's it. It's all a part. Those three things we talked about is a part of life. Ready?
Absolutely.
All right. So let's deal with us a little bit more as the things that's around us. You ready for number five? I'm sorry, number four.
Number four, what?
Yep.
Freedom.
Yep.
Ooh, freedom. All right. When it comes to the Jews of life, when we speak freedom, it's exactly what it means. You have the freedom of choice. You have the freedom to, you already learned, right and wrong, and knowing that you have the free choice to decide whether you're going to do right or wrong, but no, there are rewards and there's consequences. You do wrong, there's a consequence to it. You do right, is a reward to it. You have to be able to apply that in your everyday life to decide to live right, and reap those rewards. So,
Yeah, freedom is important. You know what they say, freedom ain't free. Well, the first thing that need to be freed is your mind. All right, you have to be mentally free to do everything you're trying to do for yourself.
right.
If
You
you're
know what you got to
mental,
do.
yeah, you know what you got to do, but you got to know how to do it.
Hmm.
You know what I
And
mean? So
choose
it's
to do
like
it.
exactly, and a part of that is by us doing the first three things: having knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and making that a part of our lives. That means, oh, I want to learn how to be a graphic designer. All right, let me go take some classes. Let me talk to the people I need to talk to who are going to hire me, and let me help them understand that I'm the right guy for the job. Now, I done created a new path for financial freedom for myself. And think about every time that you overcame something, you felt the sense of freedom, right? You
Right.
broke. You
Absolutely.
feel trapped when you broke, right? Go start
Hmm.
making money, you feel free. You do what? We excel. We release. We free that breath because we've been holding it in because we stressed the hell out. That's the mental freedom. The physical freedom is the ability to move around, the ability to just occupy the space you're in without any restriction. You do a crime, you go to jail. You're not a slave, right? Once upon a time, we couldn't say that we were enslaved. We're not that anymore. Some of us are mentally enslaved. Are there restrictions or obstacles? Yes, but we can get up and go wash our ass. We can get up and go chase girls. We can get up and go to the bar. We have a sense of freedom.
Hmm.
Spiritual freedom is the next part, and that's whatever you whatever spiritual school
Religion.
of thought, religion,
Hmm.
school of spiritual school of thought, whatever one you want to occupy, you're free to do that. That is great. Think about it, the people who are really tapped in to their spirituality or their sense of faith, they feel a sense of freedom. They're not confused anymore. They're not lost anymore. A sense of purpose is one of the greatest freedoms that you will ever understand about yourself. And if you don't have that, then I hope by the end of this conversation tonight you will want to be a part of that because it's important. Um, so just remember, I mean, the first part of freedom is to free your mind.
Hmm.
Your ass ain't gonna go nowhere when you got a trapped mind.
Yeah. And will free your mind, and the rest will follow.
Yup. It's a reason why that song was a slap.
Hmm. You almost had me singing up here, but I ain't gonna do that to y'all.
You know, that song was there and created for a reason. You know, um, one of the things we like to say, hey man, you gotta free your dome, right? You gotta free your dome
Hmm.
because a lot of you are literally walking around with the chains aren't on your wrist, they aren't on your neck, they ain't on your ankles, they are on your mind. That's why you're in the hamster wheel repeating the same cycle. So
Yes, yes,
um
yes.
You ready for the next one?
I am.
All right, number 5 is justice.
Okay. Justice is rewards and penalties. Um, if we're gonna talk about justice in the Black community, we do not get justice like we deserve, like we should get. I mean, we're gonna speak from facts here. Um, and we do ourselves injustice at times as well. Um, but justice is supposed to be the rewards and the penalties, you know, for the things that's done. Like Hakim said, you do a crime, you're gonna lose your freedom, you know. So you're not doing yourself justice because you're not living right. You're losing your freedom, something that you were given, and you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do to keep. Um, but um, when we are done wrong, we're supposed to get some type of justice. So if someone does us wrong, they're supposed to get some type of penalty for that action, and we need to learn more how to fight for that because we deserve it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because we
Exactly.
have. Remember the show we did, the injustice system?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one of those situations where um, you have to take all the tools that you were given, that you learned, and learn how to apply those things. So when you're done wrong, you can receive justice. And we have to do the things that's justice for our people. We have to do right by our own selves so we could demand that from others.
Facts.
Because y'all know my saying. If we don't know how to treat each other, we can't tell nobody else how to treat us. It should apply to everyone, not just when someone else does us wrong. Then we all want to rally, get together, and have justice and do right by us and da da da. And we just tearing down our own, you know, not obtaining the knowledge, not showing the wisdom, not having a clear understanding, not keeping our freedom. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a process. It's like
Mm-hmm.
these 12 steps is a whole picture.
Yeah.
We're supposed to do it all. That's how we
Yep.
get from 1 through 12. No skipping, no slacking, no picking and choosing. Do it all.
Mm-hmm. Because it's a dimensional process. The first three is the dimension of self that's within you. It's your the way you think, the way you speak, the way you act, right? The next three is about your more so your actions and the actions of others, how you're supposed to be treated. It's more of your uh, mental and physical situation out there in the universe. This is your day-to-day life. So your justice is important. Your justice is important because justice is the reward and penalty for one's actions. I love justice so much, I made it a part of my last name. I am
Yes,
born
Hakeem.
just.
That's right.
I am born just because I had to tear down the Nuba to build up the born just because I needed to put the focus on that. I seen too much drama and trauma happening with my people. And I needed to start tapping back into this aspect which is so important. I'm in a city where there's constant killing. There's less justice, there's a lot of actions, there's not enough penalties. There's also a lot of great deeds, not enough rewards. Justice isn't about the sword chopping your head off, it's also about the flowers, the gold. It's also, you help that lady cross the street. You help Miss Martha with her bags, and she got home safely. The reward is whatever blessings come from that. That's where
Hmm.
reciprocity comes in. You did good, you supposed to get good. But also, like DMX said, when you do dirt, you get dirt.
Get
Bitch,
there.
I'm gonna make that
Hmm.
shit hurt.
Oh, I felt that.
That's how it works. You know what I mean? It is the reward or penalty for your actions, your ways, and your deeds. Treat the people properly. Whether it's at work, whether
Hmm.
it's your kids in the house, that goofy cousin with the two teeth, that crazy ass female cousin with no edges and 15 boyfriends and 17 baby daddies. Treat her properly no matter what her situation is or what his situation is, because you want that same treatment to come back to you, right?
Hmm.
There you go.
Yes.
Now,
So,
also, they do you dirty. How you handle it also plays a part.
yes, you know what you might want to do, but in every
Hmm.
situation you can't do it. In every situation, you know, because that's when the freedom of choice come along. You know what you can do. You know you can get back, but is it really worth it? Is it going to steer you from your journey, your path to your goals, what you trying to do?
Hmm.
That's what you, is it worth it? Because some people not even worth it, you know.
Yeah, because the get back for a lot of folks. I'm sorry. Whew. The get back for a lot of folks is, oh, I'm gonna fuck them up, or I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Is always violence, and I feel weird saying that, but I gotta realize I'm 49 now. I'm not 29 no more. I'm not 19 no more. I'm not 9 no more. As you get older, you evolve,
Gotta
and
woosah.
sometimes, yeah, because sometimes holding on to that anger, you're trapping yourself. Now you're messing with your mental freedom. You saying you want justice, and think about it. When you mad at somebody, you walking out of the kitchen talking to yourself. You like they there in front of you and shit. You mad as hell.
Hmm.
You ain't
Hmm.
free to handle nothing else.
It
You
consumes
ain't
you.
free to. It consumes you. You ain't got time to look for that second job or to help your kid with your homework. You mad as hell. That nigga done cheated on you. You know what I mean? Or your man that hit you up and said he saw you shorty out there with some dude at the crab shack. You hot.
Hmm.
Sometimes the best justice is to free yourself from these people. Let them go. Cut them off. And you will feel it's going to hurt at first, but you feel better because the reward or penalty for their actions in the negative sense, the penalty is dismissal, complete disqualification. You no longer exist in my cipher. You can't be here. No, I don't allow trash around me, and you move on from it. That's how it's supposed to be. Um, which goes to the next one, equality.
Equality. When we speak on equality, we equality means you want your fellow people to be on the same level as you. When you get the knowledge, teach knowledge. You know, show the wisdom so they can become wise as well and teach others. Um, teach them the understanding of everything that's the package, like we're talking about. So it's just not just okay. You learn what you learn, and that's it. And every now and then you pick and choose who you going to tell it to, or who you going to teach it to, or who you going to help. You know, knowledge means nothing if you don't spread it to others. So when I think about equality, that's what I feel. It's the whole package of making sure your fellow people has the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding so that they can follow the other steps that they have to take to be complete. You know? Now, I'm not saying if you're a well uh, renowned chef and you got a little special recipe, a little ingredient that you use, you got to tell the world that. I'm not saying that because that's what makes you you. But if they need to learn how to, bake something, cook something, um, what ingredients brings out the flavor, et cetera, yeah, let them know, spread that knowledge, show them how to do it. Don't come. The problem that we have as people is everybody want to be on top. They want to be able to look down when it's enough success and money out here for everyone where it doesn't hurt to help somebody, to teach somebody something, to mentor someone, to show them how to move or introduce them to certain people. It doesn't hurt to do that because you
Hmm.
are who you are. People love you because who you are. So, like for instance, we've had other people with their own radio show on the show. You
Hmm.
know, we had people, and we stay in contact with people like that because I've always felt like when you and we talked about this time and time again, networking. When you are in contact and have these relationships with these people that do what you do or do something that's connected to what you do, then y'all are forced to be reckoned with. Y'all a team. Like for instance, when I used to do paparazzi jewelry, I was friends with other paparazzi consultants. If I didn't have something, oh, go check this person out. They may have it, or I'll contact somebody. Do you have this piece? Okay, I'm gonna send it a sale to you because somebody wants that piece for an occasion. Are you able to fill that order? You
Mm.
know, it's 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 about building building up each other, having that foundation. You're not, you know, it's not a race. That crab in the barrel mentality that people have, you know. Um, Everybody want to be able to say, "I got more." What do you hear the most? Go on social media, and you will see how much you'll get these influencers. They start beefing with each other. Y'all all doing the same thing. They just found what works for them. You found what works for you. Y'all don't have to stop letting these people put y'all against each other. Y'all got your own fan base. Y'all fan base don't need to be fighting. Rappers, singers, they always trying to put somebody against each other. No, they have their gift and they're going to use it the way they're using it, and you have yours and you're going to use it the way you use it. And y'all both should have some type of substance to bring to the people.
Facts.
You know. And so, oh, you almost went on a whole rant there.
Yeah, I get it. Because equality is the equal and fair treatment amongst multiple people. I want you to treat me the way you want to be treated,
Mhm.
right? Knowledge is supposed to be shared equally. That's why it's each one teach one. That is the main focal point of that concept. Every person should be getting knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, not just some,
Mhm.
right? Every person is supposed to be getting freedom, justice, and equality. Um, it's a matter of proper treatment for yourself and for others. You treat your queen the same way you want her to treat you. She ain't your bitch.
There we go. We need them snaps. I'm gonna
She
just
ain't
do it.
your
Them little
she
snapping
she
fingers.
she ain't your bitch. She ain't to this. She ain't to that. Blah 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 blah. And guess what? He ain't your nigga. He ain't your
Hmm.
good nigga, thorough nigga, real nigga. He ain't no nigga. That's your king. That's your
My
man.
king. That's right. Capital K. Hmm.
Equality. Remember, you are who you say you are. So if you one of them people running around talking about I'm a real nigga or I'm a badass bitch, you are who you say you are. Imagine when we start talking life into each other. Imagine when we start talking up to each other. Because it's easy to talk down to a motherfucker. That you can do that in your sleep. Imagine when you are doing it from a place of positivity, enrichment, and enlightenment. Have a great day, King. I love you. Boom. Man, just starting. Imagine hearing that from your woman starting your day. You know what I mean? Have a great day, babe. I love you.
Hmm.
I know you're gonna kick the day's ass, girl. Go and do your thing. Come on, man. It's both parties, not just one. It's both. So all of
Yes.
that, what you bring to the table talk, I bring freedom, justice, and equality to the table. I am
Talk
free
that
to
shit.
love you to 100%, and I'm going to be just in the way I navigate in this relationship. When you treat me good, I'm gonna treat you good. When you fuck me over, expect a receipt.
Hmm.
But I'm going to give you the same respect and love that I expect you to give me. Imagine if people was to walk around with those three steps. Because now we talking about the treatment, how we want to be treated, and how we carry ourselves and how we treat others. That's the whole idea of freedom, justice, and equality.
Yes. You know the golden rule: do unto others that you want done to you. You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. The next one is food.
Food is nourishment. You know, the things that we're supposed to put into our bodies to be able to sustain and be in a good mental and physical space. You know, um, that's the most simplest way I can, I can put it. It's what we're putting into our bodies. Because as we say, what you, they say you are what you eat. you know, and so it's just certain things. And it's just a side note, everything Tashi, love it. What her nutrition journey is amazing. Um, but yeah, you know how we feed ourselves when you eat too much of certain things, it start affecting with our bodies. Our mental, our health. Um, you know, uh, but oh my God, I have not drinking soda in about 3.5 weeks. Because I told myself I wasn't going to drink soda anymore. And when you don't do certain things, you do take a little while, but you do feel the difference. So it's not, and it's mental. We feel like we need certain things. We don't really need certain things. We want certain things, you know, as far as certain things we do need, certain nutritional things we need, that's different, for our bodies to be healthy, for us to get the vitamins and the nutrients that we need. But some of this other things, it's just because we want it. But yeah, when you think about food, it's just talking about the nourishment we put in our bodies, you know, that helps us with our mental and our physical, that cleanse things that we need to do. You know,
Hmm.
it's hard. It's hard though. Certain things is hard, but it's not impossible. That lifestyle.
Yeah. And it's also, like you said, food is nourishment. And it's also the physical nourishment for your body, keep you strong, right? Then we got the
Hmm.
spiritual nourishment. That's why some folks read the scriptures or they go to church or they go to the mosque or they pray, they're feeding that part of themselves that needs sustenance. And then you got mental food. The problem with our communities, we've been taught to eat the wrong food, right? We've been taught to
Right.
eat physical food that's making us sick, giving us diabetes, high blood pressure, right? They taught us to eat the wrong spiritual food because some of you don't give a shit. You'll worship a damn ham sandwich, right? Then they gave you the wrong mental food. That's why you running around here talking about your pussy pink and your booty hole brown. Because what's happening is no longer our excuse for it is just entertainment, right? I love hip hop. Okay, I love listening to a dude go crazy, saying all kinds of wild shit. I understand that it's not realistic, is entertainment, just like I would watch a goddamn movie, just like I would watch John Wick. I know that boy ain't really running through the city with a damn dog shooting and killing 150 people. It's entertainment. It's a game of Call of Duty for me. But what's happening is when our people speak it, there's a good chance that a lot of us are living it. So we
Mm.
have to make sure we are putting the right food in our heads because a lot of y'all are suffering from mental health or you hurting or you got something going on, right? If anybody ever
Mhm.
pre-planned a fight, if anybody ever thought about when they was going to go run down on somebody and you had music at any point, you damn sure didn't have no opera playing. You ain't had Whitney Houston playing. Luther Vandross wasn't playing.
Mhm.
You wasn't listening to some R&B. No, you was listening to some real nigga shit. Cause you about to go do some real nigga shit. You eat the wrong food, you shit out the wrong shit. That's mentally and physically and spiritually. So you have to protect yourself. Now we're dealing with you as a vessel. You have to, you know, in the words of Lord Jamal from Brain Nubians, they taught you how to eat the wrong food. Now it's time for fasting to get that life everlasting. It's just like that. You got to really stop doing certain goofy shit. If you know that you're around people who are doing dumb shit and you ain't seeing your blessings come through or certain things ain't going right, that's probably because they stink done rubbed on you. You gotta get that stink off you. You gotta let some stuff go. You gotta digest mentally, physically, and spiritually the proper nourishment. Read a goddamn book for a minute. Go watch a video. Go do something that's gonna benefit your life. That's gonna put more money in your pocket so you can take care of your family better. So you can level up. Ready for the next one?
I'm ready.
Next one is
Uh,
clothing.
uh, when we talk about clothing with the 12 Jews, we're talking about the proper protection from the negative environment. You know, um, if it's, I mean, because if it's cold outside, you're gonna make sure you got a coat, right?
Hmm.
If it's hot outside, you're gonna dress appropriately so you aren't catching a heat stroke. Um, so to me, it's just when it comes to this, it's just talking about protecting yourself, being in the right environments. Um, you know, so shielding yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Your clothing is your covering. You can cover yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually. If you are orthodox or a devout person in your particular faith, you wear it like a clothing. Because when you believe in what you believe in, ain't nothing getting through that. You're covered in it, right?
Mhm.
Your physical clothing is what you're wearing on you. That's a simple one. Your mental clothing is how you protect your mind. How what's covering up your dome? Is it wisdom or is it trick knowledge? Because a lot of y'all running around don't know your ass from your elbow. So you're uncovered, right? And if you're uncovered, you easily captured. If you captured, then you ain't free. If you out there wandering around doing reckless, crazy stuff that you see a lot of these young cats doing, they aren't wearing the proper covering. They're not clothed properly. Think about it. They they are wearing hoodies and poo shiesty masks at 102 degrees outside. That's on
Okay.
their ass. Just imagine what's in their heads. Let that sink in. But clothing is important in every sense of the word. In the summertime, it's a little shorter, it's a little less, but it's on you, unless you're a nudist. And in the wintertime and fall, you're a little more covered up. The proper clothing for the proper opportunities and the proper situations. You go to an interview, if you there with a pair of Air Force Ones, some jeans, and a wife beater, then I ain't hiring you. If you are there in your, sometimes you ain't got a suit, but you got a pair of shoes, you got a pair of slacks, you got a button up. You're doing the best you can. You're trying, but at least you tried to prepare for the right and accurate situation. So we got to do a better job at clothing ourselves properly. You ready for the next one, Queen?
Just said I think I'm having some difficulties here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You're a little low, but I can hear you. And our echo is back. Did you do something differently?
Yes.
There we go. I hear you louder and there's no echo. The echo's back.
Okay. It's my headset. It's not so you can hear me, but I can't hear you through it.
Oh,
Okay.
all right. Let's
Yeah.
try to power through this one. Um,
Yeah, I lost
but
you
you
there.
are we done with clothing? You ready to move on to the next one? We got four more.
Yes.
Okay, the next one is shelter.
Okay.
What's your thoughts on that?
To me, shelter is your home, your safe space, where you should be protected at, where you're supposed to be at peace. You're supposed to be comfortable. You're supposed to be able to get everything you need mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually in that place. And it's up to the head people within that household to make sure you have it. Everybody has a role to play in that household to make sure things fall into place. And equipped with the tools that you need so when you go out into that real world, you can handle the things that's being pushed upon you, the things that you encounter when you're out there, so you can get back home safely. So you can maneuver through the world.
Facts. Your shelter is your protection. It is to shield you from the
Mhm.
climate, right? When you when you out in them streets and shit get crazy, where you headed to? You try and get your ass home, right? Try and get to shelter. You know, if it's raining crazy and you ain't got an umbrella and you downtown shopping, you gonna go into the first mall or building or store and oh, let me go in here real quick. Damn, you seeking shelter. You need to be doing that mentally instead of watching them crazy ass, goofy ass, pointless ass shows and arguing with people about it on social media. Cause some of y'all take entertainment and make that shit real life, right? And that's I feel wild saying it as a wrestling fan, but I'm smart enough to know that Dwayne the Rock Johnson ain't, you know, really putting nothing up nobody's ass. He ain't really shining up his boot and shoving it up nobody's ass. But there are people out there who don't have some of the things that we talked about in tonight's discussion. So they're more susceptible to trick knowledge. They really believe certain things. They have no
Everything they see on
shelter.
TV.
Yeah, they have no shelter. They really will believe the bullshit that comes out of some people's mouths.
Hmm.
And you're easily susceptible. You're not free. You won't get justice because you're not free. You won't get no equality because you're not free. There won't be the proper food. You're going to be clothed, wearing them Kanye West clothes, all baggy and bummy. And you're going to
Hmm.
end up shelterless. So you'll be a homeless, bum ass person. Don't be a bum ass person. Get your life right. Build yourself up. And I'm saying, I say this to myself every day because it's so easy to get caught slipping. It's so easy to give in to temptation. It's so easy to just wild out, spaz out, do all kinds of wild negative shit because you may be in a bad headspace or a bad mood or some crazy shit that happened to you. But when
Hmm.
you got your 12 jewels, you got your shelter because you could just breathe, find your way to meditate, or if it ain't a meditation, if it's pouring yourself a drink, if it's lighting up a Dutch or whatever you smoking or drinking or whatever, or if it's taking your ass to bed, whatever you have to do, your safe place is your shelter. Remember that. And you always want to keep those things near you. You want to keep them handy because this world is crazy.
Oh, that's an understatement.
This world is crazy. And if you don't have the proper shelter, you will become a part of it. We are products of our environment. Now, how we become a product of the environment is essential. What kind of shelter do you have? What kind of shelter you had back then ain't the kind you got now, ain't the kind you're going to build tomorrow. Because, like Fat Joe said, yesterday's price is not today's price. Well, the yesterday you should not be tomorrow's you or today's you. Because after this conversation, y'all gonna get up tomorrow, y'all gonna get the hammers and nails and plug them holes in the shelter. Mentally, physically, spiritually. You're gonna get stronger. You're gonna get through it.
Yes, all about
Um,
growth, elevation.
exactly. Exactly. Constant elevation. That is something I was taught in the 90s as a teenager, and that's something I try to hold on to. I slip and I fall. I crack my dome a couple times, but I always go back to it when I, you know, shake the cobwebs off. Like, yo, you ain't elevating. Ready for the next one?
Mhm. Yes, I am.
All right, we're
Let's
in the
see.
last quarter here, the last three, and the next one is love, 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 love.
Yes, love. We start off with self love. Um, First of all, love is the highest form of understanding. Um, we start off with self love because when you love yourself, you are going to do right by yourself. You're going to be around the right people. You're going to obtain the knowledge. You're going to grow. You're going to always be trying to evolve. You're going to treat yourself in which a way that you're not going to let anybody just come in, and you're not going to just settle for anything or anybody or any circumstance, you know. And then once you love yourself, you can love others. And when you love others, you are going to help them elevate. You're going to support them. You're going to help them grow. You're going to teach them. You're going to let them teach you. You're going to pour into them. They're going to pour into you. Um, so when it comes with love, it's giving and receiving, is growing together, is having one's best interests, at heart. So,
Mm-hmm. Yep, sure indeed. Love truly is the highest form of understanding you can show another person or even yourself. It's being able to look at another person or look at that person in the mirror and say, "You are what I want." That is is I can't even put it into words, because when you stop and you take away all the goofy shit about that we hear every day about love, we take away all the toxic stuff and just you visualize in your head, think about the person that you love. We'll get to us, we'll get to loving ourselves, but think about the person you love. Immediately their face should pop up in your mind, whether it's the love of a relative or the love of your mate. Their picture pops up in your mind. That's how love and understanding are connected, because when someone's teaching you something and you're understanding it, they're painting a picture in your mind. Well, with love, it's instantaneous. Boom. Whether it's a good thing or bad thing, somebody say something bad about your man. Wait, what happened? What'd you say?
I'm
The
sorry.
response when it comes to the response when it comes to love is instantaneous. You go ahead and
Hmm.
tell him you love him and he don't respond. He don't say it back.
Mm.
Every think about it.
Well,
When we think about our mates and we think about the people that we love, we see them in our minds, right?
you're right.
Mad at them, we're happy, or whatever the case may be. We're visualizing it. That's how powerful it is. And we take that shit for granted. We take it for granted and we don't water that flower enough. We plant that seed and we just, come spit on it or take a piss on it from time to time, depending on what toxic level you want. But just imagine if we followed all those other things we talked about and then we get to the love part. If I'm learning
Love is an
from you.
action.
Yeah, that's now we're talking about the action.
Hmm.
Imagine having a mate that you're learning from. Imagine having a mate that you can converse with, manifest, showing your wisdom, which will manifest an understanding. Right?
Hmm.
Imagine having a mate where you are feeling free and you have the freedom to be yourself. You don't have to have that representative. You ain't got to front for this person. And you know when something is right or something is wrong, they will be just in how they treat you. And they're going to treat you equally. They ain't going to look down on
Right.
you. And you know the food better be good. That food better be good, goddamn. Fellas, tell them that food better be good. And you know what food I'm talking about. Both meals better be good. And most importantly, that mental food better be good. That's another
Yeah.
conversation for another day.
And we will, and we definitely have it, because in relationships. So when people think about love or their kind of love, they always touch on the physical and the sexual. What about the emotional and the mental of it? You know, they're
Yep.
supposed to be able to
Yep.
completely fill you,
Mm-hmm.
not just in one way, y'all know, but
Mm-hmm.
in all ways, because it's a package deal. Because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and you have to know your mate's love language. That's another show too. But yeah,
Yep. Because love encompasses everything from the clothing to the shelter. It's all of these things wrapped up in one. The it's the car you put all your shit in to get to your next step. It's carrying all of that. The knowledge, the wisdom, the
right.
understanding, the freedom, the justice, equality, the food, the clothing, the shelter. It's carrying all that. Now, I know that a lot of people may know it subconsciously, but bring it forward. Bring it to the front of your mind to where you are occupying your day-to-day life, understanding all of these things and how important love is.
Exactly. Because if it ain't grown, it's what?
It's dead. If it
Hmm.
don't grow, it's dead. So, love is important. Um, Second one is my favorite. The next one, number 12. I'm sorry, number 11
11.
is peace.
Oh, whew. I felt this one in my spirit here. Peace, peace. It's a calm state of mind, feeling secure, not over worrying, you know, all of kind of, all of the fears and worries is out the window. First of all, your home should be your safe haven. That should be your place of peace, free of chaos, you know. When you meditation, that helps clear your mind. I know it does for me. Other people have their other things that they do. But when I need a peace of mind, I'm going to take a moment. You want your mind to be as free as possible so you can function how you need to function. I'm an overthinker, so sometimes I got to take a moment and take a breath. Um, I can't stress how important the mental part of peace is, because if you're not okay mentally, it's going to throw other things off, especially when you're a mental person. Um, I don't care if I'm coming from a long day. So, yes, I will pull up in my driveway. I will sit and have a moment of peace, because I know when I get out that car and go in that house, mommy duties is time. You know, cooking and everything else.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna get my mind right and had that moment of peace. So I walk into my house, whatever stress or that I had when I was out there in the world working or whatever I encountered with, I'm gonna put that at peace so I could come and be a mother, to my children without taking anything out on them. Because sometimes people do that. So one
Hmm.
thing go wrong, somebody make you mad, and you come home, and the one place where your shelter is, where you're supposed to be safe, you come and bring it home. Leave it
Hmm.
outside. Your home is not a place for war. That's your peace. That's your safe haven. You know.
Yep.
So, as you said, I sit there for hours. Get however long I need. I'm gonna sit in my car.
Hmm.
Sometimes I might have to listen to a couple of songs. Sometimes it just be me and my thoughts. You know.
Hmm.
Or sometimes it's just me planning out what I got to do, get my checklist together because I'm running behind. Let me do what I have to do to be at peace. Because
Hmm.
when you're a parent, Cause soon I walk in. If my daughter's here, the grandbabies, soon I walk in, they want me to grab them. Now I don't get to. No, you don't get to go upstairs. You don't get to take your coat off. None of that. They just, ready for me to grab them. So I'm going to do what I have to do in the car and get situated because I know it's that's my only me time for that moment, and so it's time to go to bed. But yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. You have to be at peace because it will also dictate how you interact with others as well. If you are angry, if you are always upset, if you are always in this negative headspace, everything you approach throughout that day, it's gonna come from a place of negativity, and things are not gonna run as smoothly. You set the tone, like you said, that good morning text, that sets the tone. I could have not got any sleep last night. Let me get a good morning text. I'm a straighten right up. A motivational text. Sometimes you gotta look in that mirror, give yourself that pep talk. I have affirmations around my room that I wake up and read. Whatever you gotta do to get in that right mind space, you have to do it
Mm-hmm.
because it's not just affecting you; it's going to affect whoever you encounter throughout your day. Nobody want that. I don't want
Yep.
nobody's negative energy. I don't want because they had a fight with their baby daddy. I don't want. Don't give me an attitude where you got to ring up my stuff. I want you to be able to teach my kids how you supposed to teach my kids in school. Just because you having a bad day, don't come to school and not teach my kids accordingly. Or you the medical field. You need to have a clear mind. People's life and health is in your hands. So people just got to understand the importance of it.
Yeah, man. Amen to that. You know, peace is definitely the absence of confusion, chaos, or negativity. It is it is your safe place. Like I said a little bit ago, love is the car that all of the other 10 things are piled and packed into. Peace is the destination. That's where you're headed. That's the road. You're on peace road. You know, and when we look at how important peace is, sit down, turn on your local news, or turn on national news. You can go from CNN, or you can go to Fox 29, or you can go to Fox News, which I don't do that. You can go to MSNBC, or you could go to Channel 10 locally. Whether it's local or international or national, peace is missing. And when there's no peace, that means there's chaos. And where there's chaos, there's negativity. And the negativity is like cancer, it spreads. Whether it's a
Yes.
lie, whether it's some hateful shit, whether it's violence, that shit can go around the world 7 times before the truth do. Once. This is why we're having this show. Because we got the lack of peace up and down our social media, up and down our streets, up and down the goddamn that shit everywhere, man.
Hmm.
So if you want peace, you have to create it. You have to do the things that we're talking about. You have to have that in your own self so you can have it in your home, so you can walk out your front door and create it wherever you go. You know what I mean? It's like
Hmm.
and I kind of get angry with myself because I kind of took my foot off the gas. Once upon a time, you couldn't call my phone. You couldn't. I didn't do hellos. I greeted you with peace because that's the way I was taught. That's how I was educating myself through the system. to which I learned. You know what I mean? Because I
Mhm.
understood that I couldn't be like everybody else. That's your first step. If you want to be better and you want to feel better and do better, you got to act better. And that's not better as in I'm shitting on you better. It's no, I'm not doing what y'all doing because what y'all doing don't agree with my system. Y'all eating the wrong food. I don't eat pork. I don't eat this. I don't eat beef. I don't eat a lot of shit y'all eat. You know, sometimes we're eating the wrong language, so we feel worse. We're saying the wrong shit. We're doing the wrong shit. There ain't no peace there. Sometimes we're laying with the wrong person. It's
Y'all
good
know
for
who y'all
five
are.
minutes. When that 5 minutes is up, you feel like shit. Some of y'all literally are sleeping, sexting, texting, laid up, chilling with someone who is your opposite. But remember, opposites attract. That's a cute little saying, right?
Yeah, but it's temporary.
But it's exactly. And there's no peace in it. And that is something that's been taught to you because that's European thinking. Remember I taught you they taught you how to eat the wrong food? Prime example. Hold up the peace sign, Queen. You doing it, right?
Yeah, but you taught me how to do it, so that don't count.
Okay. Now, typically, if you walk to anybody in the street and say, "Hey, show me the peace sign," they're going to stick up two fingers separated in the sign of a V. That's European sign for victory, right? And then the poppy it
Hmm.
during the time of the war, the Korean War, and all that stuff, during the draft and all that shit, the people who were anti uh, war said this should be for peace. But what they didn't tell you is they stole it from our people because our fingers are together, which is the ancient Kemetic sign for peace. It's not a V, it's a 11, right? Two ones together. How the fuck are we having peace if we're far apart? Right? What's the 11th word? What's the 11th alphabet in the English language? The K. When you get two kings together, you create peace. When they're apart, you got open space, which chaos can be in the middle of it. That's why you ever see me in any picture, I've usually got my piece up because I'm communicating with the people who understand what I'm talking about. I don't do that middle finger nonsense that I see y'all goofy asses doing because that's a sign of anti-peace. How you telling somebody fuck you and you're talking about peace and you got peace in your heart, you got peace in your mind, you got peace in your soul? Nah, it don't work that way. Positive energy activates constant elevation. We have to take it seriously. There's too many young kids dying. There's too much chaos in these streets. There's way too much nonsense going on. We got to get back to the love and the peace. And finally, Queen, happiness. Woo
Happiness.
woo.
That's
Happiness.
that's the end of the journey. That is when your mental, your emotional, your spiritual, your physical, everything is aligned within itself. Um, that means you know who you are, why you are, um, what your purpose is. You are carrying out all the other 11 steps. Um, Happiness is your reward.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we said, it's a
Mm-hmm.
package thing. It's all together. So once you obtain
Mm-hmm.
the other 11, like what's his name, Thanos. Once you obtain the other 11 jewels, that 12th one, that's the power of happiness. You're living right. Things are better. Um, your environment is better. The people you interact with better. The things that you're doing in life is better. Um, you're just you're happy. That's what
Mm-hmm.
our goal in life is, to be happy in the different areas in our life. That's the end goal.
Facts. That happiness is, if you have done or you have lived, because everything here that we talked about is about showing and proving. And if you were able to do 1 through 11, you absorbed it, you digested, you carried it out, you taught it, you're going to immediately start to feel that peace. It is the final turnout. All of the things we talked about tonight is to get you to a place of happiness. You can have peace, but you also got to have that happiness,
Hmm.
because the peace is the calm. The happiness is just that, damn, this was all worth it. So we got some work to do. This tonight, I hope, you know, I hope that this wasn't too boring, or this didn't come across as a TED talk. But this was important, and we needed to do this for our people. We needed to share our thoughts and our feelings about this kind of stuff, because happiness is just doing this show tonight made me happy. I can't speak for the queen, but it made me happy. You know,
Oh, I
so.
enjoy it. I like the mixture of everything. That's what this platform is about. Our show is about touching base on everything. No, people, we're not going to talk about sex all the time. World does not revolve around sex. But that's why I say we got a broad audience where we have something
Hmm.
for everyone, you know? And so,
Yeah, we'll get back to thotting and bopping in a couple weeks. We'll get back to the ratchet shit. I know y'all miss it. But all right, Queen, you got your last. Let's get our last words out so we can. I gotta go to bed. I get up early tomorrow. I'm an old man now. Shit.
I mean, before I close out, do you have um, any shout outs or anything, or announcements, or?
Yeah. Shout out to Hezi Rockefeller for the comments. We appreciate you.
Yes, yes.
Shout out to Charisma Pearson. We appreciate you. Shout out to Tish Banks. Oh man, I missed this comment. Equal eye tie in regards to equality, which means to,
Quality.
yeah, equally I will tie. Tie is in bond. We doing this together. I love it.
Yes. Go
So remember
ahead,
the
teach.
lessons. Go ahead. You remember your lessons. Okay. Yeah, and shout out to everybody else who's listening in, who's taking the time to watch it, watch the live feed. We appreciate y'all. And next week we're talking about healing.
Yes, which is very important.
Yep.
Um,
Very.
yes. So
Yep.
I do. You was finished?
Yep. Hmm.
Okay. Like once again, yes, I do want to thank all the listeners, the people who shared the flyers, posted the flyers, invited people to come on any one of the platforms that we're going live on. You guys are appreciated. Um, I mean that you're watching this live from. Even the people that's going to listen to the playback, you can still feel free to comment if you listen to the playback. We're gonna see you guys next Thursday. Remember, if y'all have any questions, any topics that y'all want to talk us to talk about or join in on the discussion, you can send it through. We also will take questions or advice that's needed. You can put it on the Reality Talk Network Facebook group. If you're not a part of it, feel free to join. Um,
Hmm.
yeah. So
Most definitely.
remember, this is a show for the people. So we talk about the things you guys want to talk about. We answer y'all questions. Um, and so it's for y'all. Y'all want to know. Y'all want us to talk about it. Then we'll make it happen. We also going to be having guests come on soon as well. Again. So that
Yep.
concludes our now putting in work.
Oh, man, can I get a quick? Oh, listen. Before we go, I'm glad you brought that up because it almost slipped my mind. I'm old man, y'all. Forgive me. This Saturday, uh, Putting to Work Entertainment presents We in the Kitchen Vibe with Me edition, which would include some hip hop and R&B from the area. Um, Going to be at JJ Mullins, located at 36 West Girard Avenue, Philadelphia, PA 19123. $10 at the door. The shows will be from 8 to midnight. It's going to be dope as all hell. We got Putting in Work Entertainment will be performing. We got Central Ave. We got Keyshawn K. We got Blessa. There's going to be a whole host of others who will be performing. So please come through, check it out. If you love real hip hop and you love soul singing, come on down. Saturday night,
All
JJ
right,
Mullins,
8 to 12.
8 to 12. $10 at the door.
That's right. So make sure y'all come out and support. I need to see if I'm gonna be in Philly Saturday. I know I got a baby shower to go earlier that day, but old
Yeah,
lady
go
might have
on
to come
down
out.
there. Yeah, go on down there. It's real. It ain't Kensington. It's fine. It's in the the gentrified area. It's damn near Fishtown. So you ain't got to worry about zombies running up on you.
Oh God, I swear that's a whole nother show. A tour of
Yep.
Philly. Oh,
Yeah. Just yeah.
but y'all didn't scare me away. But I'll just stay clear of that area now.
Mm, mm.
Yeah. So we gonna let you guys go. That concludes our show for tonight. Until next time. Good night, everybody.
Peace, y'all.